If you're embarrassed to say that you want your man to provide for you, you need not to be. The simple reason is because, at least for a certain amount of time, if you want a family, you need him to provide for you. And if you meet men and they're not mature enough to understand that, then it's probably better you're not with them. If he's into this 50-50, we provide together paradigm of reality, then he can have that. But you need, as a woman, if you want a family, protected motherhood, which means in the time when the children are small, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if those children are going to be born and need care all the time. Well, they're definitely going to need care all the time, but you don't know how long that care is going to be. You don't know how independent that child will be raised to be. You don't know how you're going to feel about your children going into care. You don't know any of that stuff. So you cannot tell a man once you meet him that you will definitely put your children into care and that's fine by you. That's why you don't need to act like this woman who's going to be 50-50 and all these things. If you want a family, be brave enough to tell men that you want him to provide. It doesn't need to be a luxurious lifestyle. It doesn't need to be a crazy amount of money. But in the time when you have small children, you guys need to be able to live on his salary. What does that mean for you? I'm not sure. How much money is that for you? I'm not sure. But you need to be realistic and you need to be in your feminine about that. You need to say that openly and honestly, so you don't get stuck with a man who expects you to work and raise your children and have your children and be the one who's taking them to care. It's very simple. And you're going to tell me a lot of adults cannot afford to live on one salary. Can they not? Or do they have expectations of a different lifestyle? Can they not? Or maybe they're not in a position where they can provide. It's all about choices. But I'm telling you, when you have small children, the mother needs to be there for them. And you need to plan for that. So don't be embarrassed to say that you want a husband who provides for you.
She out earns her husband financially. And do you really believe women can truly respect men they outperform?
Yes, because respect shouldn't be based on the amount of money that you make. Anyone that knows anything about life knows it goes up and it goes down. And we could pray that it's on an upward trajectory, but there will be changes and shifts that happen. And if it's money that makes you lose attraction to your husband, you never loved him in the first place. That's more about his position than who he is. You love him as long as his position is paying the bills. But do you love him if he's just your husband? If you are losing attraction because you have to be the primary breadwinner, you were never in this for real. I understand what that means to be scared. I understand what that means of trying to figure it out. I understand what it means to be frustrated or angry because your lifestyle is changing. But you can't be mad at your husband because life happened. That's not fair. That's not fair to him. It's not fair to y'all. It's not fair to the children. It's not fair to everything that you've built in the past. Right now, in this moment of uncertainty, that's the difference between a wife and a woman that's just married. A married person says, oh my God, what are we going to do? Says, how could you possibly let this happen? And says, oh wow, we're struggling. A wife says, okay, I see what's happening. What are we going to do about it? Okay, I understand we're not in our best area right now. What's our exit strategy? What are we leaning into? What's our game plan? What can I do? What do you need from me? That's the difference. Too many people are getting married for position instead of actually embodying who it is you have to be in that position.
So is that why men are choosing success over family?
Of course. At least the money, you get to buy no responsibility with the baddies. That'll give you everything for nothing. I understand why men choose to be single.
Dating a guy who's calm but dominant can be very tricky if you're not accustomed to it, and most women aren't. When he addresses a problem with you, it won't be like anything you've experienced from most other guys. You see, most guys, when they have an issue with you, they do one of three things. Blow up, so they're visibly angry, whatever that may entail, them yelling, raising their voice, hitting something, whatever that nonsense is, right? A lot of guys shut down, do silent treatment, female-like attitudes, right? And then you have guys that like whine and negotiate. A calm, dominant man not doing none of that. He's just going to address you directly, and it's going to be short and to the point. It may last all of 60 to 90 seconds. Hey, look, you did this, that, and the third. I don't like that. Move like this going forward. All right, that makes sense for you? Okay, cool. Then I'm right back into laughing, joking, whatever it is that we was doing. You have to put the proper amount of weight on his words. It's not going to come with more theatrics. You have to know that when he's talking about a serious matter, that it's a very serious thing for him, because it's not going to come with any yelling, name calling. He's not going to keep repeating himself. I'm not going to nag you to about it. He gonna say it once, maybe 2 or 3 times, and then it's gonna seem like it came out of nowhere where he's like, all right, look, you're not getting this, just not working. And he gonna stand on whatever boundary or structure or guideline it is that he put in place. And that confuses a lot of women, because most of your life you run into men who are visibly angry in one way or another. So you know when something's a big deal to him. But for a guy who's calm and dominant, you're not gonna see him visibly angry. It's not really going to happen. It's just going to be the fact that I'm talking to you about this. It's a big deal, right? So let's talk about it real quick. Let's address it real quick, and then let's get back to business. But you got to be able to put the proper amount of weight on that man's words, because he means what he says. And the fact that he's even talking about it makes it a big deal.
So many of these modern women, they want a man that's passionate about them. They want a man that shows an intense longing and a desire. An intense longing and a desire for them. And men are saying, after what I just saw, no. You ain't got nothing else to desire. You didn't show it all. Absolutely not.
Girls want to date an entrepreneur until they see what comes with being with an entrepreneur. You think for 1 second that dating an entrepreneur, especially one that is successful, means you get freedom? Take it from me. I'm sitting at the office of the entrepreneur right now, where he's getting 2 jobs for the price of 1. He's 24/7, and I'm out here being 24/7 with him. When I started dating my fiance, he basically told me from the get-go, I want to end up with someone that supports me and my goals and my dreams. That's the one thing I'll never give up. I was like, oh, that sounds easy enough. No, I'm out here in the trenches. If you want to be with someone that's uber successful, you need to know that you will most likely come in a lot of seasons second to the business. And you need to be so okay with that, like so for real okay with that. You might even lose some friends over this, because some of your friends will not be able to relate. If they're with someone that's in a 9-to-5, and you're with someone that's actively building a business, they will not understand your suffering. And let me tell you another thing. These guys have such high expectations of you, more than you have for yourself. As their partner, you need to level up. And the reason why is because there's going to be a lot of hard days. And you're going to be out there in the trenches with them as literally God's strongest soldier. Top of all of this, let's just add the fact that they love delayed gratification. So the moment they achieve their goal, they're going to kick the ball down the road, and they're going to have another goal to achieve. It's never ending. So you just better get used to the cycle. I feel so blessed to be with someone that has goals and dreams and is so ambitious. I want him to achieve all those things, and I want to be right there to support him. All I'm saying is, if you want to have a life of leisure, go find a man in finance, because I'm telling you right now, these guys, no, they're hardwired differently. The hunt is better than the kill. They're always on the chase. So best of luck to you out here, because it's hard. It's hard out here.
Okay, so I'm just going to yap a little bit because I'm starting to kind of hate this whole independent woman thing, which is so weird for me because I've been a business owner since I was 17 years old and I've done it on my own for a long time. I'm kind of fed up. I'm kind of done. Now that I'm kind of transitioning into this new phase in my life, I'm starting to realize how much I truly value traditional roles in a relationship. Never thought that would happen. That's always the unsafe route in my mind. And trust me, I've always been a 50-50 relationship girl. Now, you need a sandwich, I'll make you a sandwich. Have fun at work. I'm gonna do a pedicure. That's what I want. Independent woman? No, don't want to do it anymore. I will create an environment for you though. I will sit here and love you to no end. You will be appreciated on my watch. I'll wear cute pajamas, I'll make sandwiches, I'll throw guys' nights, I'll let you go do whatever you want to go do. I don't want to worry about money. Take that stress away from me, and if my only job is to love you, trust I'm going to be employee of the year. Every day I'm getting that job done. Don't worry about that part. A lot of women are going to hate me for saying that on the internet. I don't care. But I'm starting to see the value in just being a nurturing woman and just literally being space for a man to be able to be a man and come back and be like, I have an awesome wife. At least I don't have to stress about my wife. That's who I would love to be. I would love to be just the nurturing place to fall when he's stressed out. And I know that I can be that. I feel like I'm going to get so much hate on this video from both sides. Both men and women are going to be like, you're insane. This is how I want to live. I'm sorry if you don't agree with it. You don't have to live this way. I'm getting sick of it. truthfully, you know I love you.
It has never been easier to be a dangerous, respectable, high-value man than right now. And I'm about to prove it to you with the cold, harsh truth. You've been lied to. Dating's impossible. The odds are stacked. Women have endless options and you're invisible. I call on that. The competition that you're terrified of, it barely exists. There are masculine men out there. Sure, but for every one man who actually has done the deep work, faced his demons, built his body, sharpened his mind, became a centered, strong, and dangerous man, there are 70 who haven't. 70 to 1. And here's what should light a fire under your gorgeous women, secure, attractive, sexy, they are out there in huge numbers, scrolling, dating, searching, desperate to find the rare man who is worth it. A man who's calm instead of reactive, strong instead of soft, assertive instead of submissive. A man with real purpose who doesn't need her validation to stand tall at all. That man is so rare that when he enters the room, women feel and go absolutely crazy. So wake up. You're not competing against millions of strong men. You're competing against a tiny handful who actually did the work. The line that you're scared of, the line is short and almost nobody is standing in it. Your only real job is to become that man. Heal what's broken, build what's weak, destroy the excuses holding you back, then demand it. The demand is massive, guys. The supply is tiny. And the only thing between you and that total advantage is the work that you keep avoiding. So tell me, my dude, what is the one thing that you know you have been putting off?
You know, a lot of these modern women, what they don't understand is because they're going to continue to ask, how come good men don't talk to them? How come good men don't give them the time of day? Is because y'all continue to try to make men compete. And they've already proven themselves. A lot of these guys that you have in the friend zone, they've already proven themselves many times over. But you still got them out here. Oh, well, you know, what you did last week didn't count. What you did 3 months ago didn't count. You know, I've got a new roster, you guys. Just keep on competing and maybe somebody would win. Lucky me. No, you're not that special.
A friend of mine said, the sooner men realize, understand, and accept the fact that women don't make sense and they're not supposed to make sense, 99% of their problems with women will just vanish.
I find it odd how women want to be taken seriously, but simultaneously they infantilize themselves all the time. Like, they want you to see them. First of all, me preface this by saying I absolutely see women as my equals. That's what I'm saying, right? But I'm saying they want to be taken seriously, but they constantly degrade their own intelligence, right? Like, they said they should be treated equal in 2025 and this, that, and the third. But then they'll say something like, oh, I'm just a girl. What does that mean? Like, every time they say, oh, I'm such a girl, it's something about them making a joke about how incompetent they are. But why do you associate being a woman with being incompetent? Like, you're degrading yourself. So why are you doing that? Like, what do you mean that once you realize that a woman is a woman and they're not supposed to make sense? So you're just saying that there's no rationale in a woman's mind? Like, you're saying that women are not capable of reason, right? And why would you say that about yourself? To escape accountability for the time being? But all you're doing is putting down women's ability to be taken seriously at all. Let's say all men adopted the mindset of, once you realize that a woman's not supposed to make sense, all your problems will disappear. That means no man will ever take a woman serious in any regard because she doesn't make sense. She's not capable of rationale. She's not capable of being rational.
What actually happened was that women got all the benefits of being masculine, or the masculine world, and did not have to take on any of the responsibilities that were associated with it, or very few of those responsibilities. Now, as men and women are finding it harder to get along and are pushing each other away from one another, women are learning the hard way that feminism lied to them, that there is a price to pay, and a lot of them are not willing to pay that price. And that's where we run into a problem, because then we have this class of women who want all of the benefits of being a woman in terms of being protected, but with none of the responsibilities of having to do their own protecting and providing for. And men at this stage in the game are no longer willing to sacrifice themselves for this protected, privileged class of humans. With access to the ability to manage our physical urges through online resources, we'll call it, and AI girlfriends or whatever, even though it's not an ideal set of circumstances, it's better than the alternative of having to take on the emotional burden of dealing with this adult child who wants all the benefits of being a grown-up, but without any of the responsibilities. And I know this is a generalization, and I'm not trying to say that all women are like that, but there's a lot of them like that. There's a lot of them like that. And my friend that I was up to last night until 2 o'clock in the morning, he's got one like that. He's got a woman who wants all the benefits. I mean, she's an adult child. She wants all the benefits, and she wants none, and I mean none, of the responsibilities that go along with it.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Cool. That's no problem. So, I graduated college, and with the degree that I have, I work in that field. Yep. Hobbies, I like to read books and stuff in my spare time to keep the mind stimulated. I read some books. I like to play chess too. That always, that helps keep the mind sharp. Play chess in my spare time. Goals is
Goals? Well, I don't want no chess playing, book reading, goal oriented ass nigga, but I'm straight with you. I'm sorry.
Wait, ma'am.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
I was just playing.
Ma'am?
I'm not talking about ma'am. You don't want to be ma'am. I was just playing. I scam.
Ooh, Zaddy.
Yes, I scam. Young Miami and them hoes, I'm them. Who they talk about? Spitting on them. I scam. I trap. I'm missing plays right now to do this. I really ain't even supposed to do this. I got my car loaded, which I can go to jail any minute.
Jail?
I got everything you need. Look, I got Za, rapper weed, Molly, lean, Percocet. It's too in there with the windows up right now. I pimp. I got hoes.
You pimp?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I got hoes.
Ooh, Zaddy.
I ain't bullshitting.
Let me sit my back down. Yeah. Oh my God. You are. Ooh, I did not know you was doing it like
I got
that.
3 kids, 3 baby mamas. I take care of them, but we all stay with my mama. Yeah.
I just love me a never moving out ass. Oh my God. What a thing. Oh my God.
A lot of these modern women really don't understand that men are seeing the same thing over and over again. When I date this woman, it don't really matter if you're black, white, Hispanic. Men are seeing the same thing. And quite frankly, you're seeing it across different continents. You're seeing it in Asia. You're seeing it in Australia. You're seeing it here in the US. You might be seeing it in Canada. You're seeing it in South America. It doesn't really matter. Certain sex and portions of wherever region you're in, there's a certain agenda that is being pushed where these modern women are acting a certain way. Men are seeing that and saying, oh, I know where this is about to go. I'm out.
I've come to the realization that the men who treat women like or just lie to women or don't have their best interests at heart or dog them out or just treat them terribly, basically. It could be anything. I feel like those men don't like women. I don't care. I feel like if you genuinely just don't want a woman to be happy by lying or cheating or treating her or whatever, you don't like women.
You know what's funny about this whole video? The men who do all that to you are the ones that y'all are attracted to. Y'all aren't attracted to the faithful ones. Y'all aren't attracted to the nice guys. Y'all are only attracted to the bad guys. And that's okay. And it is what it is. And secondly, women cheat. Women lie. So does that mean that they hate men just because they cheat and lie? We could just reverse the same logic. So I guess women hate men now. But you know what's funny about TikTok? I'm going to put an example up here. Watch this. Literally came across this one today. Me trying to explain to my friends, I'm literally so confused because I have so many boys I could choose from, but for some reason I like the boy I can't be with. Oh, so what do you know? Females don't really like it when a guy's all about them. They like the guys that they can't have. They like the men who treat them like crap, which is why you see all these females have the same stories when they get on TikTok. Anytime that they're talking about a guy, it's usually a bad guy. It's a very small percentage of women who are sitting there saying like, this guy treated me real, this guy did all this, blah, blah, blah. Y'all are usually with the guys who cheated on y'all. Y'all are usually going back to the men that cheated on y'all. The men that y'all claim y'all hate.
Hey TikTok, I have a confession to make. Over the past few days, multiple news articles have come out. I'm in contact with Vice and New York Post, so more are on the way. And before they do, I want to tell you guys the truth. When you see me hanging out overseas with beautiful Colombian or Asian women, people have suspected for a long time that these women are being paid or they're poor and uneducated looking for a come up. And the truth is, she went to Cambridge and she has her own money. Truth is, dating in America is probably the worst place in the world to date as an American man. Some women in the West are taught men ain't and masculinity is toxic. At the same age as some women in other countries are taught the little things you can do to help a man feel heard and respected. Like how boys are taught to open doors or give flowers to women. People need the passport bros to be losers or because then they don't have to wonder why intelligent, successful, genuine men are leaving and having the time of their lives. The truth is, American dating culture has 50% single men, 50% divorce rate, 70% initiated by women. And it's the fault of American women and men. Some of these guys who are now obsessed with body count were pro hot girl summer, pro girl phase because they thought they would get laid more. And when it backfired on them, they switched sides. The truth that none of these articles want to talk about is that almost every man who leaves the American dating scene will come back and report that it is dramatically different and so much better. Finally, Passport Bros was started by the black community, yet the media wants to paint me as the face for it. I don't know if it's because it fits better with their narrative of it being a product of colonialism. I feel really grateful to be embraced by that community early on and seeing all the support in my comments, but they should still give credit where credit is due. I am tired of being misrepresented or misquoted in these articles, so if anyone knows of any good podcasts or somewhere I could do some long form interview or conversation, please let me know or tag them below. Thank you guys for everything. Follow me, I got good shit.
A lot of these modern women are feeling that men are not really investing. They're not engaged. The experience, the meeting, us being here on the date, it kind of feels flat, right? And while I understand, you know, if you come out there, you should probably try to put your best foot forward, right? But you have to understand, men are reading you. They're watching you and they're saying, oh, here we go. Like you say something and a man is like, because y'all think y'all are the only ones that do that. And a man is saying, oh, here we go again. He hears a certain thing or he sees a certain thing, sees a look, you know, maybe you're wearing something and you're like, oh, here we go again. It's going to be a long night.
Sis to sis, men don't feel safe everywhere. So choose to be one of the places they do. And I don't mean safe like comfortable. I mean safe like respected. Most men spend their entire lives guarded with their emotions, guarded with their fears, guarded with parts of themselves they don't have answers for yet. Not because they don't want to open up, but because experiences taught them that it was not wise. Listen, you ever met a strong man and try to get them to open up and you get nothing? A lot of men learn early that vulnerability gets misunderstood and honesty gets thrown back at them. That softness gets mistaken for weakness. So they learn to adapt. They stay quiet. They stay surface level. They show strength, not depth. And then they meet a woman who doesn't interrogate them, does not rush them, does not try to dissect them. She listens. She doesn't make his emotions about herself. She doesn't use his vulnerability as leverage. She does not punish him later by throwing what he said back in his face. And that's when something shifts, because safety is not created by words. It's created by true consistency. It's in how you respond when he's unsure. It's how you handle him when he's tired. It's how you speak about him when he's not performing at his best. The Bible actually speaks to this without making it emotional. It says the heart of her husband safely entrusts in her. Safely. Meaning, her presence does not add pressure. Her love does not feel conditional. And this does not mean accepting less than you deserve. It means you know the difference between leading with wisdom and leading with control. A woman who creates emotional safety does not chase intimacy. She attracts it. Because when a man feels safe, he opens naturally. He communicates clearer. He shows up stronger. Not because he's being handled, but because he's being understood. And that's rare. Men don't feel safe everywhere. So choose to be one of the places that they do.
If I was a man, I wouldn't want to approach none of these girls either. Did modern conversations around consent make men more hesitant to approach women?
I think that men are not approaching women anymore because women don't know how to just be women. Like the femininity is almost non-existent these days.
Yes, sir.
Because women don't put themselves, like literally, like you were just saying, take. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole mindset of like, oh, I'm just trying to get on there and he got a bag and this and that. Like it's taken away from the authenticity of just actually meeting somebody, liking them and seeing what you guys can build and grow together. If it's going to be all about a bag and then you're not coming to the table with anything of substance, why would a man approach you? And I do feel like us as women need to take some accountability as to why that's not happening. We do be acting real harsh. We do be acting real, like it's just very aggressive. And then even it's at a point where women are like approaching men and like, oh, like basically trying to take they like give them the dick, like that's all I want from you and da 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 da. And unfortunately it's because, you know, it's a psychological thing. We feel like that's all the men want from us. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna beat you at your own game. I don't even want you anyway. All I'm trying to do is get whatever the case may be. And that is just fucking ridiculous to me. So I think that it's gonna be hard. If I was a man, I wouldn't want to approach none of these girls either.
Okay. All right.
Because what is y'all doing?
So
but
go ahead.
There are a group of women, because the thing that I do want to say is not all men are the same. Not all women are the same.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying, where's your accountability as far as the type of women that you are approaching and talking to? Because if they don't have a certain type of mindset, you're not going to get that from them. You're going to meet the same woman in every single person.
What's going on, y'all? Let's talk about this young creator named Daji Keys 2 times. Apparently she's making all this content about relationships and toxic men and red flags and this and that. So I watched a video earlier today where she's talking about avoiding toxic men who match quote unquote feminine energy and listing all these things that are quote unquote womanly. And basically it comes down to she want to treat a man any kind of way and a man is just supposed to accept it and not retaliate. And that's, but okay, cool. Let's roll with it. If that's the agreement, then the woman's part of the deal is y'all got to be overly willing to apologize and overcompensate for all the times when you're emotionally unstable and unable to control yourself and just snapping and talking to your man crazy and treating him any kind of way and taking this and taking that from him. Like, yeah, y'all got to apologize for that publicly, and y'all have to make us believe it, and y'all got to put some actions behind those apologies. Can't just, you know, just say it and don't do nothing, or not say it and just think it's sweet and we just gonna sweep it under the rug. Nah, we not sweeping nothing under the rug. You gonna publicly acknowledge that you was being and you gonna make up for it, or it's not gonna work. At the end of the day, or y'all children who can't control themselves because you're emotionally overwhelmed or whatever, and you just have to lash out and do what you want to do, or y'all grown ass women who know how to control yourselves and take accountability. Can't be both.
Hey, it's okay if you didn't finish college. That's fine.
Do you think I didn't finish college?
I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting right now. I don't know.
Where do you go to school?
Here at OU.
What's your degree?
Arts.
Arts?
Yeah.
Which one?
Studio.
Studio? You want to, some funny thing?
What is the funny thing?
I actually started school at the University of Oklahoma.
I bet you did.
As an art student.
Oh, I bet you did.
Studio. I did about 1.5 years of studio art. Then I took some philosophy classes. Then I get my undergraduate degree in philosophy with a minor in history of science.
And you did all that and you still chose to be out here doing
And philosophy. And then, crazy enough, because I had gotten really into the history of science, I stayed at the University of Oklahoma and I got a master's degree in the history of science.
Good for you.
And the entire time, I was a funded student, teaching, no less. Whenever I was, what's the name of the biggest scholarship that you can get as an incoming studio art student?
I don't even know. I was an incoming biology student, and I went to that class, and I said, this sounds lame, so I chose the art degree.
So I had the Selma Nafee scholarship entering the studio art program.
Wait, hold on, sorry. I gotta look for gold stars really quick. I don't know if I have any gold stars.
See, the thing is you brought it up, and you said, because I was an advocate of extending the laws against equally to all people, that I must not have gone to school. And I started to tell you that I went to the school longer than you have and longer than you will.
You got a degree, and that's really, really awesome for you.
Not a degree.
I don't give that much of a fuck.
Multiple degrees.
Awesome.
Not what I base my argument on, but that is how I refute your assertion and accusation that I'm clearly uneducated.
Okay.
People need to start getting asked to be set up. It is truly, like we were saying before, like the most human thing.
I made this bet with my boss like a couple years ago, and I've now added my best friend, her husband, and a couple other friends. But I feel like I'm just going to open it up to the general public because I'm good for it. So the bet/offer is, if you introduce me to my husband and I marry him, I will give you $5,000. I don't have to stay married to him for long. I can get divorced in 20 years. It doesn't matter. But if you introduce me to a man that I walk down the aisle and get married to, I will give you $5,000. My DMs are open.
Okay, let's talk about this. So, I'm offering a $5,000 referral bonus to anyone who finds me a husband. Yes, the video you just saw, that is her. That is who the New York Post wrote about. So, here's my thing. This is what men keep telling us. We want to say that they're being mean and bashing women. When they tell us that you will hit the wall, once you enter your mid-30s, they are not lying. This is what we need to realize. When a man gets married, most of the time he wants to build a family with that woman. There's off situations where that may not be the case, but a majority of the time, when you come together with a spouse, you want to build a family together. It's very hard for women over 35 to naturally bear children. That's not hearsay. That's not an opinion. That is pure facts. That is science. So when men keep telling us about hitting the wall, this is a prime example. Nowadays, women want to prioritize careers over families. And now they realize they're going to be lonely.
And, you can sit up here and say, is there a man that's willing to help? Is there a man that's willing to, kind of show that chivalry and stuff like that? But I think a bigger question you should probably be asking, and maybe it's probably a bigger problem, is, am I willing to give back? Am I willing to be feminine? Am I willing to nurture? Am I willing to put in effort? Right? Am I willing to say, okay, I appreciate what you're doing? A lot of women think that chivalry is only one-sided. And, a man is only supposed to do certain things, right? But let's look at your version of chivalry. What is it that you do? And then when we start asking those questions, we come right back on to the question that men be asking women, modern women, and they get upset. What do you bring to the table? What is it that you can do? How is it when I'm supporting you? How is it that you can support me? How can you support a family? Do you want to support a family? What type of person are you? And that's usually when modern women crash out and they don't want to answer those type of questions.